Okay. I think I should cut that light off. What am I talking about? I guess I'll start with how my day went. Okay, so today was a really good day. Intense though. Had some really deep conversations with some amazing people at a meetup group I went to, and I noticed that like meditation, yoga, sleeping. No, this doesn't work. I need to talk about something that doesn't feel contrived. Probably need to start off with the question, what is it real for me to say? And then maybe something of value will come up. Mm, well, today, what was the overall? Well, okay, there was something I did learn today about how to engage in conversation in a way that, how do I describe this feeling? I don't know how to exactly describe it. So great that I can edit this video in some way, I think, before I share it. So yeah, what's real to say? I'm constantly having these metacognition moments where I'm looking at how I am internally when I'm engaging the world and conversations and things like that, and how vested I am in a certain position that my experiences and my conditioning in life has cultured me with. And I think that it's very easy without having these moments of metacognition to look in on my internal world, to get completely absorbed in ways of thinking and ways of being as an identity. And you know, for some people, when you speak to a paradigm blindness and you speak to inconsistent stories and narratives that they or I have built up in my internal world, it almost feels like a death to them and to me. And in that way, I feel like I'm constantly having sort of a psychological death, an identity death. And of course, because it's, structured and organized within these, in a safe parameter of me, being very, very self-reflective and safeguards on like how far out I can go in that psychological death or that personality death. There is an inevitable rebirth of myself in a way that's more aware of the things that my psychology has gripped tightly around, causing an identity to emerge. And when an identity emerge, it's usually on the basis of certain beliefs and value systems and perspectives that oftentimes me as an individual or we have had no hand in building. It's all been about our environment and what's poured into us from that environment. And even sometimes when we think we're making a choice, the choice is not a full choice because it's within a certain spectrum of experience that you've been saturating, that I've been cooking in. And so what allows me to have space from that, oftentimes along with, the metacognition and the self-awareness that I'm exploring is on the basis of transcendence. Transcendence allows me to have a break from this incessant constant meaning-making machine of the mind, pouring thoughts and concepts into my awareness constantly. I transcend past thoughts. I transcend past sound using the mantra, which is a sound or word devoid of meaning, to allow my awareness to become aware of the subtle and more subtle expressions of thought until it transcends thought altogether. There's no mantra, no sound, and this creates this space of just pure self-awareness. And in that space, I feel fully awake, fully alert, and myself devoid of all conditioning and meaning. It's like a fundamental break from the constructs that make up Antoine. From that space, I reemerge into my life, my body, the world, and there's an extra freedom to really be or aware or do this self-inventory of my ways of being, my triggers, my conditioning, my habits, and like reassess what's useful and what's no longer useful, and let some things fall off or intentionally pick some things up. But all of that is on the basis of awareness or transcendence. Okay. So I basically looked at my day in that light. Maybe it'd be useful for me to read a little something. Maybe that might produce some value. So I'm just opening up this book to whatever page, and I'm just going to start reading. And maybe be something I can vibe off of. Okay. Let's see. How about this stuff right here? This is a theme called Developing Unbounded Bliss Consciousness, the home of all the laws of nature to enrich all aspects of daily life. And it's, of course, by one of my mentors, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And this is talking about how a principle called Yogastha Kudu Karmani. And it means established in the state of yoga, which is unity or union, perform action. Another way we said it is established in being, perform action. Established in the self, perform action. Established in pure consciousness, perform action. And this is reflective of the example I just gave you about me allowing, through transcendence and meditation, allowing my mind to settle down to a state of unity, pure awareness, and then coming back into action and looking at my life very intentionally. Let's hear more about what he has to say about it. So Yogastha Kudu Kamani, established in being, perform action, or established in yoga, which is unity, perform action. The mind, which can be active, can be less active. Oh, this is what I was talking about. The ability to stand still is inherent in the ability to run. Gaining pure awareness is the foundation of dynamic activity. Pulling the arrow back on the bow gives momentum to activity. This also relates to the last video, the example I gave of the arrow on the bow. All problems in the relative field of change. All problems are in the relative field of change. It is worthwhile to establish oneself in the field of non-change, where problems do not exist. Then coming back to the field of problems is like stepping back into the field of darkness with a beautiful torch. All the laws of nature begin to support the impulses of desire and aspirations of the individual established in pure awareness. That was a great place to land in this book because it just relates to what I was talking about. When you transcend, when you take a break from the everyday changing phenomenal world or how you know yourself to be, the thoughts and narratives and beliefs and values that are making up this construct called the self. At this level, the small s self, identity, personality, things like that, there's a deeper self, a more all-pervasive self that is synonymous with pure consciousness. And in this state, you transcend to it beyond all the meaning, all the conditioning, and from there, there is a blank canvas, a clear, beautiful blank canvas. We can paint whatever we like in that space and create and manifest whatever we want as we come up out of that space. I think that's what I'll share for today. And yeah, I'll listen to it back and hopefully that provided some value. That's today's vlog. Hopefully I'll get better and better at this as I go. But this is my intention, to be consistent and see what comes out. Thank you for the journey.